Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Stug Help Desk. It is 6:30 in the evening on the for June 4th of 2025. And from 6:30 till 7, we're going to have a help desk where you can ask any questions you want. And the help desk is being recorded and will be available for reference after the meeting, thanks to Huey. So before we open it up, I'll just tell you a quick story of two engineers that were talking, railroad engineers. And one says to the other one, Bob, how many times have you derailed your trains? And Bob says, I don't know, I just can't keep track. So on that note, we'll open it up for questions. They've got to be better than that joke, right? So who has a question? Just unmute yourself and ask away.
No questions mean you
No
know everything.
questions. I know we have a lot of experts here to answer them, but we need some good questions. We'll give it a few more
I got a
seconds.
solution. I got a solution. I listened to you and I switched plugs and the laptop is now working. It had to do with a bad battery apparently on this plug. Thank you, people.
Okay, good. Jalen, you have your hand up.
Well, we've just come across something, and I'm sure some of you know it. It's a Microsoft relatively new product, not brand new, of course, called MS Defender. It's an app for both Android and iOS. If you are subscribed to a Microsoft 365 subscription, and you get it for free, and it's a really complete security app that kinds of it checks the see, now I can't think straight. I'm gonna have to go look at it again. It checks the breaches where your information appears in breaches and makes suggestions on what to go do about it. It you can also add an extension. I haven't figured out to get it into Edge yet, but maybe that's because Edge is already part of the Microsoft thing. But I did add it an extension to Chrome browser this afternoon, and Norm Galloway, our president, has done it. And has anybody else come across this new-ish feature?
It's called Defender.
It's called MS Defender.
I thought that has been around for a long time.
No, this is not Windows Defender or Windows Security. That is it is totally separate app. It does not become a program on the computer. Let me go find some info and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. And what turned you on about it, Jolyn, that made it so different than a normal security that comes with your computer for free?
Well, it's something, the protection level on the phone, the first article, I'll get the web page that the article goes to. The first article says, make your phone safe before your next trip. So that was an interesting, one of our members sent it to us. So we've been exploring it the last couple of days. And I also was confused. I'm putting together a handout for the members of our club, and I'll share it with you guys. But let me go find that.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. That would be great. If you share it, maybe we can send it to our members. If you're willing to do that, that would be great.
Absolutely.
And also, is it from Microsoft? Just because it says MS doesn't mean it's from Microsoft. It is, okay. Joel, while she's looking that up, you got your hand up.
If someone can help, I have a Windows 10 machine with two monitors. It's a laptop with the second monitor, and that's working. But I have the show task bar, all tasks on. But every time the machine resets for any reason, it forgets the setting, and I have to go back into settings and turn off the show taskbar and turn it back on to get the taskbar on monitor number 2. Has anybody seen this, or anybody have any suggestions as to what I should attempt to do? Windows 10, 2 monitors. I'm trying to put taskbar on monitor 2. There is in setting, excuse me, I'm looking at both monitors. Settings, taskbar.
Yeah, in your display settings, there's a control for that, and you can put the taskbar on either monitor that you want.
Well,
Both.
I'm putting it on both, but it forgets the setting every time the machine turns off and turns on. So when I go back into settings, it displays that all taskbars on all monitors is turned on, but it really doesn't work until I turn it off and turn it back. So it's forgetting the setting. Suggestions welcome. Okay.
I
Nothing
can't help,
shocking.
I only use one monitor.
Well, we have a 17-inch laptop, but we put a 21-inch monitor next to it so that we can have, generally we end up with 2 different programs running on each monitor, so we can cut and paste as appropriate. Thank you for your help.
I wonder if your two, because the two screens, one's on a laptop and the other is a regular screen, whether that has something to do with it or not, I have no idea. But that's my only guess. I don't have Windows 10 anymore on anything, so I can't check it. Maybe some of the people here who are using 10.
I'm not sure if it's a 10 feature. My 11 other system appears to run correctly and does appear to keep all show taskbars on all monitors. Does appear to work, but never sure. Don't shut that one down as often.
Somebody want to play with one of the chat programs, AI programs, to see if they can come up with an answer. In the meantime, Howard, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I do. I have a question for our speaker. I'm using LibreOffice, and it is extremely difficult to address envelopes in LibreOffice. In Word, it's very easy. And I'm wondering if there's a workaround. And I'm also considering maybe even purchasing a past version of Microsoft Office, which is offered on Earthlink for about $20, and maybe do that. Any comments on how to address envelopes in LibreOffice?
That's his, I think he was asking you.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I'll let me research it the next half hour, and I'll try to figure it out. I've never had to address envelopes in LibreOffice, so let me try to find out more about it. And I'll get back to you.
What do you use to address envelopes?
Well, I've got what have I got? I got a wife. No, that's what she just said to tell you. Anyhow, I've got Microsoft Office, and I address envelopes with it. And I've got LibreOffice, and I have FreeOffice from SoftMaker in Germany. And I've never tried an envelope with it. So let me research that and get back to you.
Okay, well, it's very easy in Office, but very difficult in LibreOffice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, your questions are excellent, but unfortunately, not a lot of people have experience with making envelopes in LibreOffice, for example. We're getting very specific questions, and I don't want to discourage that. That's great because somebody may have a workaround. So please continue to ask your questions.
One thing about LibreOffice, what I would do is go to the website. They have a very, very good forum and support group there because it's all cooperative amongst everybody that's involved with it. So go to the LibreOffice website and ask that question. That might help.
Is that LibreOffice.com?
Go look it up and put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's what I'm getting ready to do.
Leah, you have your hand up.
Yes, I started trying to put my question in the chat, but I used enter and sent part of it. I have an HP OfficeJet ancient printer, and it started to spontaneously send me these print messages and ruin my paper and use my ink. And it's in part of it's in the chat. It's capital GET /dev management /product status dyn.xml. It's just gobbledygook. And then it says host local host, and then it does a different one under that. And I've tried unplugging it and reinstalling it and all that stuff.
I'd
What do you got?
uninstalled it and reinstalled it.
Yeah, I did it. I'll try it again.
I have an answer on the taskbar question.
Go ahead.
If you go into settings, personalization, then taskbar, and then scroll down, and you'll see something that says share my window from, select, wait a minute, let me get the right one because there's a whole bunch of them. Show badges, show flashing, show my taskbar on all displays. It's the fourth one down once you get to the taskbar. So it's settings, personalization, taskbar, and then make sure you've checked show my taskbar on all displays.
Yeah, in mine it's under multiple displays. Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Colleen, your hand is up.
Okay. My question is, whenever I ask AI a question, it knows every single answer. So my question is, I haven't taken an AI class. I don't know anything about it except it knows all the answers. Is there something that I should take to learn that I'm missing out on other than getting answers to questions?
The thing with AI is if it doesn't know the answer, it makes it up, and it's called hallucinations. Because it does give you an answer, doesn't mean it's the correct answer. So as far as finding out, there are articles and videos galore on YouTube. I do a show once a month called Let's Talk AI, where we discuss various things and how to do it. If you go to huey.net and then look at the menus on it, one of them is AI News, and I list all kinds of articles or videos that you can find online. Maybe one of them will help as well.
Huey, I also have another PDF. It is called, hold on, let me get back to it. It's AI Actual Usage. It's a Harvard Business Review article written by a gentleman from South Africa talking about how AI was used last year and how it's being used this year. I'm getting the PDF. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great.
Only advice I can offer, AI is a tool. It is not the final verdict on anything. And if you decide that everything AI says is what you're going to use, you'll eventually become a total utter liar. Okay, so use AI as a tool, but if it gives you something, double check it. Do a simple search, confirm that what it tells you is verified by more than one place, not just in your AI.
And somebody did ask, which AI service or services are you using?
Me?
No,
Colleen?
Colleen.
Oh, Colleen.
All I do is, like for some of my assignments, I'll ask it a question
What is,
and it knows all the answers.
what is it?
Yeah,
Pardon me?
What is
there are
Oh,
many
Google.
that you can ask.
Okay, I use Perplexity, I use Gemini, I use Notebook LM, I've taken a peek at Claude, I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT creates my slides in PowerPoint. I ask it for outline. I mean, I love it. And the article that I just sent, the PDF article, shows a very interesting trend in how AI is being used worldwide. As an example, he mentions that in South Africa, there is one psychiatrist per 100,000 people. So there's not a lot of mental health help available. They're using AI for emotional therapy support, health support. So it's
Let
going
me
to be
ask
an
you, ma'am,
interesting.
when you gave me the PDF, if I click on that right now, will I lose the screen of where you all are with Doug?
There's two ways to do it. You can save the chat and open it later. There are three dots at the top of the chat. When you click on the three dots, it says save chat. It will put it in a folder and open it. And you can look at, if you click on it now, it will open in your browser or PDF app. And
Jolyn, she's on an iPad.
then someone else has to help her with how to do that because I don't know. I'm sorry.
And let me tell you, I went to this business meeting and there was a gentleman there. The topic was AI. And all I said to him, if you have an appendicitis and it's a robot doing it, is it AI? He said, absolutely.
That's correct.
I had surgery.
Incredible.
It was all AI. I had 5 little spots where the instruments were inserted. It's amazing.
And he said there's some probably over in another country, India, possibly doing the whole thing with AI.
Oh, without a doubt, all over the world.
Incredible.
It is.
Okay. Joe, you have your hand up.
Yeah, the question was, I think earlier was about the answers that you get from AI and also whether, you know, some of the information is incorrect because of hallucinations and things. One thing I've started doing when I do research trying to find out some information about something, I'll ask a question for information that I don't know about yet, but I'll always ask it to print up a bibliography at the same time with links, with URLs. And then I get the answer, I get 5 or 6 references, and I go to them and I look at them. And it only takes a few extra seconds. It would take me an hour or 2 hours to research that and find it myself. So I just go in with the assumption that it may have some incorrect information, and I ask it to create that bibliography for me right off the bat along with its answer, and it does a great job of it. And you can even ask it to put it in, APA format or MLS format or whatever format you want, and it comes up with it, and it saves a whole lot of time later on and some embarrassment if if you wind up with the wrong information.
You
Joe,
can also ask
I'm
it.
very interested in that. If have you ever seen a bibliography reference that when you looked it up, you said, "Oh no, that is not a good source. I don't want to use that." Did that ever happen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, sometimes it uses things that are, I mean, it gives you the sources that it uses,
right.
and sometimes it uses a source that's not necessarily a viable source. It exists, they said something, but what they used as their basis for it is not really valid, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so-
can turn it around and ask it how accurate its last answer was, and then it'll tell you.
I've also had it where it
Perplexity has
created a
had it
link.
turned around, and Perplexity, I've had it turned around and said it's only like 17% accurate.
Well, one thing is that you have to look at the system as the kind of, you ask it the information right up front. So many people feel like they have to do one line questions. I've written prompts with over 100 words, probably some close to 200 words, telling it everything that I want in one batch. And it processes it very quickly. It brings it back, and you get all that information up front, and it comes together. It's already integrated for you. So don't feel like you have to write one question at a time. Give me this information. Okay, here's the answer. Now give me a bibliography. Here's a bibliography. Now, you don't have to do that. You can give it multiple pieces or multiple requests in one prompt, and it'll come back with the appropriate information. And it's better that way because it integrates that and it puts it all together for you, I think.
Yeah, the art of prompting is very important. Jolin, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit to that. I find it very helpful. I will do the same query with ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini just to see what I get. I did a search earlier asking the difference between Microsoft security on the Windows machine and the new or this MS Defender, which is the app. ChatGPT told me I didn't have the right prompt, but both Perplexity and Gemini gave me a decent answer, a good list. They both of them automatically give reference and links for bibliography type research. And so I find using more than one at a time can be helpful because they get them wrong sometimes, and I'll find some. Then I pile all of them into a Google Doc and tab down the side and can compare and create what I want to say to people for the club. The other thing is, I see that Colleen has AI is part of Chrome is part of Google. I never once downloaded AI. Whatever I Google, whenever she Googles a question, it comes up with AI insignia and AI's why. If you're using any browser that uses Google search and you have a Google account, more than likely you will end up seeing Google's Gemini, Google's AI, and they're incorporating it. Although I do understand that some companies, I heard something about Google today, that they're changing the way Google Photos is searching. So I think that'll be a good thing. But
along with what
go ahead.
I think along with what you said of checking three or more, there's a new, I call it an aggregator for lack of a different term. It gives you 3 columns. I think it's Gemini, ChatGPT, and I can't remember what the third one is. It may be Copilot, but I could be wrong on that. But it gives you 3 columns. You ask one question, you give it one prompt, and each column has that appropriate answer, the answer from that particular item in it. It's called Sneos, I think. Let me take a look at the spelling here. Hang on.
Type it in the chat box if you would, Joe, because that's something I have not seen or heard of, and I'd like to take a look at it. I'm sure there's others that would.
Okay, I'm going to be doing a workshop on it next week, Tuesday, myself.
You get to try it, but it's not a free product.
What, Sneos?
Yep.
I didn't realize it was a trial. I thought it was free.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll put it in there and let people try it.
Okay, any other questions? Anybody?
I would give a comment that growing up, I had to buy so many encyclopedias, but with AI, you got it right there at your fingertips. I love it.
Absolutely.
You said you're having a webinar or something, sir. How can I get onto that, Yui, the other one? Because I'm blocked out of the other one because I had too many emails. How do I get to yours, Yui, that you give out several times during the week?
It's Tech for Senior, and there'll be a notice on it when I go through the the announcements in the next few minutes.
Okay, anything else?
And I just want to say thanks, Bob, for the easy peasy guide to Gemini.
You're welcome.
And are you finding that Gemini is free ongoing, or is it a trial and then you end up having to pay for it?
Gemini has more than one version, one that you have to pay for and one that's totally free. And they keep adding more and more of the paid versions or paid options to the free version. You're pretty much right now at a point where, hey, if you're using the free version, you almost get the same as the person who pays the $20 a month.
I see. So Joe, in your experience of using Gemini, are you using the free version or are you using a paid version?
I have a personal workshop and Google One, so I pay for enough that I get it. So, but I don't think when it first came out, I didn't have to be in my Google account to access it. So that was interesting. I went to Gemini.com on an account signing in. So, but I think they may have changed that. Yeah, it's evolving. They're finding out where to ask for money and where not to, and figuring that line. Yeah. Is there anything else from anybody? Any other questions or comments?
I just have a comment about the woman who wanted to save the AI usage. If you hover your mouse over that message, 3 dots will appear to the right of the message. And if you click on that, it will give you the option to download that file.
Yeah, but she was on an iPad.
Yeah.
It might still work on an iPad, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Drew. And this is Jim Cerny again. We're signing off from the help desk time from 6:30 to about now. And we're going to thank you all for your participation, your questions, and most important for your comments. We got some good knowledge today. Thank you very much, everybody.